Hey everybody, so today we are going to focus on transforming your sketches that probably look a little something like this into three-dimensional realistic forms. And one of the most important things you are going to learn about this year is value and how to use value in your drawings and your paintings to make them look better and more realistic. So I know that we touched on this briefly at the beginning of the school year, but value is essentially how light or dark something is on a scale of white to black. And value is super important because it can take any simple shape like this and transform it into a form or an object that looks like it's three-dimensional. So I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks that you can use when learning about value, in creating value, and then you are going to have the opportunity to start adding value to your final project to really ramp it up and make it look more realistic. So to review, when you're creating a value scale, you are going to press really hard with your pencil, then slowly start picking up your pencil lighter, lighter, lighter to create that gradation from black to white. Again, whenever we do this in a form, you're going to have your shape, and I'm basically just putting a value scale inside of that shape to make it look three-dimensional. So another way I'm going to have you practice is by actually creating a stepped value scale, meaning you're going to draw some little boxes and you're going to practice pressing really hard in the left box and then press a little bit lighter in the second box, and so on and so forth. And we use this exercise so that you can learn how to control your pencil and how hard you press down onto your paper. And as I'm doing this, I'm just pressing lighter as I go to the right. But one thing that I'm noticing is that these three boxes are really similar in shading. So something that artists have to do often is go back on top of their value scale and start tweaking those steps so that each box is a little bit different and they aren't so similar. So I'm going back and just darkening everything a little bit so that I can make sure that those steps are really clear, and we will see the final product. There you go. So I have my practice sketch that I used to transfer my still life to my background. I have my reference image, which I converted into grayscale to help my brain a little bit. And what I'm going to do first is slowly start adding a layer of graphite to my page. And as you can see in the photo, there are definitely some areas that are darker, but I'm just adding a first layer for now. And then I'm going to go in and start identifying where my darkest areas are and start lightly shading those in. So I'm seeing a shadow here, so I'm going to add some value there. And personally, I like kind of going piece by piece and just finding areas where I'm going to add a shadow. Some people like to approach it object by object. It is totally up to you, as long as you are getting in the correct shades and values to those areas. So as I'm seeing here in my cup, I'm noticing that there is a shadow right underneath the lip, so I'm going to start adding that in. And I'm blending it into my shading at the top. And then I'm noticing that it's pretty dark to the left of my cup. There's a shadow there, so I'm going to lightly start shading that in as well. Basically, my goal is to try to match the shadows that I'm drawing to my image on the right. So I might find that later on I might need to take a little bit of an eraser to lighten up some areas, which is totally fine. But I just want to start marking where my shadows are in general. Now it is your turn to practice adding value. First start with the value scale, then move on to some objects, and we will get you adding value on your final. All right, thanks for watching.